Yes, I hope that all of you are very well. Yes, my voice reached to you. Yes, Asia.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. We would like to start in 2 minutes. Can you see the uh, screen? Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Okay. I would like to go to the actual story. Now, you can see these are the sorry. These are the characters of the play. When 5 years pass, so called Legend of Time. Basically, this play is about time. Time is an important factor in the play. Time, when we talk about time, it is past, it is present, it is future, and these are the characters. Basically, apart from the traditional drama, the traditional play, this play is imaginative. The imaginative, the audience should use their imagination to understand it. When conversation happen, when it occurs between two characters or many characters, we come to know that they try to communicate, promote a kind of philosophy. There is no story as such, traditional story as such in the play, as we know that there is element of surrealism. Again, you know that fantasy is there with the reality, dream is there with the reality, visual images are very, very much there with the reality. Therefore, this is the reason that the writer has used, the playwright has used, or Loka has used many images, metaphors, and symbols in this play. You can see that these are the characters. When 5 years pass, characters, young man dress, mannequin in the wedding. Now, basically, mannequin is the clown, the person who is dressed as a, you see that the old man, for old man, uh, dead boy, dead cat, a servant, join a servant, first friend, friend two, secretary, fancy, mannequin in the wedding, and football player, maid, father of the fancy, clown, uh, harlequin. Again, you see that the clown is there, girl, marks, and card players 1, 2, and 3. So the writer, basically the playwright, just you see that dummy is there in the play. Just you can say that mannequin is the person is the dummy in the wedding, but the writer makes him alive and he talks. As we know that basically this play is trying to promote the philosophy, and the philosophy is very much there, and we are going to discuss this in the themes. I'm going to tell you the themes of this play, and there you can see. You can't understand the play fully or completely unless you read it. I'm going to share with you the link, and from there you can, because there are only 3 acts, and in 3 acts you can read the play and you come to know what sort of conversation is going on between the characters. Now these are the characters, and then we come to the story. In Act 1, young men and old men talks about the importance of future. It seems young man loves 15 years old girl. The marriage is delayed for 5 years. Now, what is the philosophy behind this? Basically, young man is idealistic by nature, imaginative by nature, and he thinks that his fancy would grow beautiful, young, and after 5 years, it means that she will become 20 years of the age, and he will be there to love her, to marry her. And he is all imaginative and idealistic by nature. Basically, I will come to the theme later on, but I am telling you this frankly. When you look ahead, when you talk about future, when you are talking about future, when you are concerned about future, basically you are losing the present moment you have. The presence has got much importance because future is there. You can wait, you may love, but you are not sure about tomorrow what is going to happen. You may die somewhere, and you may lose your health, you may lose your life. But at this moment, there is a conversation between young man and the old man, and young man is idealistic by nature, and he is trying to say that he will love her fancy in future. There is a secretary in that basically in the library this scene occurs, and then there is a secretary because basically secretary is in love with young man. So he tries to she is mature by nature. He tries to love young men, but young man is trying to avoid her in the sense that he loves his fancy, and he is idealistic and imaginative about her. Again, conversation between young men and friend trigger homosexual feelings. There is a character, a friend. You can say that all these characters, when you know, when you understand, when you learn, when you read the characters, you come to know that these characters have nothing to do with the story of the play, because when a new character comes and when he or she discusses, so there is a new philosophy, there is a new thing. So the friend is very much in love. It seems that the secretary is in very much love with young man. Our friend is very much in love with the young man. And then afterwards, conversation between young man and his friend and second friend. Again, second friend comes and then they start discussing. What is discussion all about? The discussion is all about future, past, present, love, waiting, things to happen. Death will come and closes all these things. Importance of future, importance of present. So all these basically characters, they have their philosophy, and the writer is trying to promote his philosophy through these characters, because these characters, we can say that, we can understand that, are the mouthpiece of the writer, and writer is trying to just, I have because I have read the play thrice, and I have written certain things, and I can quote, and thus you will understand that. So this is basically the reason. I think that, I believe that this drama or this play is not traditional. There is no story as such. We can say that there is no story in the such in act one. We come to know that young man is in love with fancy, and after that act two happens, and in act two, fancy does not, because after 5 years, when after 5 years, because uh, the marriage is delayed for 5 years. And after five years, when the young man comes to marry and he wants to have his bride, and his fancy basically is in love with footballer. So she does not try to go with him. So 5 years are passed. It means that there is another situation, there is another circumstance. And in the final act, it seems that the young man is grieving and regretting. To some extent, this is the story. But when dialogue or conversation happens, we come to know that there is a great philosophy about time, because this whole play is about time. Time is important factor in this play. Yes. Yes, act 2 story, because there are 3 acts, and in act 3 you see that there are 3 scenes, and final scene is there. Act 2, fancy refuses to marry young man. As we know that in act 1, the young man is idealistic about his fancy. She's 15 years old, and after 5 years, because 5 years pass, after 5 years he comes with the father of the fancy, but fancy refuses to marry young man. Why? What is the reason? The reason is that fiance has got different approach. She tries to do different things, and her demands and her expectations are different. So she loves footballer, and she goes with that footballer, uh, and she does not want to go with young man, and the young man is grieving and regretting, because he has been waiting for her uh, for 5 years, and when 5 years after 5 years she's not willing, she's reluctant to go with young man. She says a young man may search another woman for marriage. So it is her opinion. Now she says that yes, young man is going to marry. He can marry another girl, another woman, and she is not willing to, and she has got her own reason, because she thinks that, she believes that, she loves footballer, the person who plays football, the person who rides horses, the man who is strong and hard by nature will be her husband, not young man. Now it seems that in Act 2, the young man is sad and grieved. Now Act 3, story, uh, Harlequin and the girl speak. Basically, again, this is a clown, and there's a girl speak. Secretary is pining for the love of young man. Actually, in Act 3, we come to know that secretary is there, and she is pining for the love of young man. Secretary is in love with young man. Secretary and young man meet and talk to each other. Secretary also tells him to wait for 5 years more. Now, again, you can say that it is again 5 years come. So, in Act 1, when secretary displays, when she discloses her love for young man, the young man is not willing to listen to her. But now we come to know that to some extent, young man has got compensation, because when fancy left him, he has got compensation. The compensation is that secretary is there to love him. But again, you can say that secretary is playing tricks on young men, and she said he should wait for 5 more years. Actually, why this is so? Because we are very much concerned about our future. We are not concerned about our present. So the writer is trying to say that we have uh, everything. We have hope, we have life, we have everything, we have enjoyment, and these things are related with our future. We are very much ambitious about our future. We want to enjoy dance, and we want to have entertainment. We want to do everything in our future. but we are not concerned about our present. So whatever we are living today for the sake of future, so future may or may not be important for us. So future will be horrible to us as we come to know from the character of young men. So after 5 years now he is grieving and he is regretting, because before that, before 5 years he was very idealistic and imaginative by nature, and he thought about the girl, her face, her forehead, her braids, her hair, and he talks about, and he was imaginative about all these things. But when 5 years have elapsed, 5 years have passed, he has nothing. Okay, in Act 3, and you can say that final scene, there are card players, and finally, young man grieved, he has lost everything. And yes, his situation is painful. Acha, what is importance of these card players? Card player one, card player two, card player three. Actually, all these characters, basically, they talk about time, they talk about circumstances, they talk about life, they talk about death, and they talk about future, they talk about past, so they talk about time. So they are trying to promote the philosophy. So you can say that the writer is trying to say that we are very much optimistic and hopeful about our future, but when future comes, the situation may be different. Now this is the story. Okay, I come to the theme of this play, because without themes, we uh, should I enlarge it, or you are able to see it? Yes, please. Should I enlarge it, or you are able to see it, Sarda?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
enlarge
it is.
it. Enlarge it.
Ah,
Yes, sir. Enlarge
one
it.
minute, one
It
minute,
is
one
very
minute.
small.
Yes, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, I 1 minute. Now you can see that.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
welcome. You okay? I am just going to repeat the same, but what the themes? I have found the themes, and you know that the imagination versus reality. Actually, what we imagine, what we dream, we are idealistic about something, some people, some circumstances. We are idealistic, ambitious about our future. But future, when future comes, the reality is totally different, whatever we thought or we have been thinking. You can say, now this is from the quotation from the play. What we dream changes faster than what we recognize below our forehead. Now, this means that our dreams basically are different from the reality we are facing. You can say that, uh, I can elaborate it. The dreams are colorful. Uh, there are certain hues in dreams. The dreams are lovely, amazing, but reality is bitter. You can imagine bed of roses in your dreams, but reality is bed of thorns. So dream versus reality, reality is totally different. As we come to know that young man was dreaming about his fiancée, and he was very much imaginative about her hair, her breath. After 5 years, when he faces reality, reality is totally different, because it is again, he used to dream about her, but in reality, she is not her. And she wants to go with someone else, less handsome, than him, but reality is totally different. There is another quotation about this, as we know that water coming now. This is, I think, the conversation, the dialogue of young men or old men. Water coming towards us down the river is completely different from the water that flows on past us. Now you see that the water is, we can see water, and just you can say that upward it is flowing towards you. You can see the water is crystal clear, the shining. Whenever it is passing by you, to some extent it is muddy one. So this is the same. You can see whatever you observe is totally different whatever you possess. So you observe something, you see something, and there is a sense of sight, and that may be beautiful, that may be something shining. But whatever you have, it is totally different. When you possess things, when you reach things, when you grasping things, is totally different. You imagine things, you idealize about these things. So this is one theme, our imagination versus reality. So imagination is totally different from reality. So reality is present. You can imagine about the future, but present is reality. So whatever you have in present moment, you have to enjoy it, but without idealizing, without dreaming about your future. And you should not put every moment of your present on the stake of in the basket of the future. So it means that you should not lose everything. You should not save everything for your future, and you spoil your present. So there is imagination versus reality. Imagination is totally different. Dream is totally different from reality, as we know from these quotations. Again, the
Sir,
second,
but
ye- yes, first of all,
sir,
yes,
but the
I will,
sir, you may.
Javeria, I will answer your question. There will be discussion in next session. We'll try to understand my point of view.
Yes, sir.
In next session, the house will be open and you can ask me many questions. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Yes. Another theme is turning wheels of time, past, present, and future. Okay, we have everything, as we know that we are hopeful about, we are very much optimistic about our future. We have many hopes. Yeah, as the young people, you are young people, because I have become old and I have less hope and I'm less optimistic about my future. And you can say that my present is very important, but you are young people and you have got bright future, and you think that and you believe that your future is colorful. Inshallah, it will be colorful. So you will see it. Turning wheels of time, past, present, and future. Basically, time is cruel. Time has no regards for the feelings of the people, sentiments, feelings of the people. So even you wait for something colorful, and that colorful will not come in your life, and something black will come out, and you will see that and you will regret it. It may be possible that. Yes, what is inside is more real, though it also transforms. It also changes. The last time I saw her, now the young man, basically, he is thinking about, he is imagining about his fancy. The last time I saw her, I could hardly look. Yes. The last time I saw her, I could hardly look at her because she had two little wrinkles on her forehead. Now it shows that how time changes. If I had blinked my eyes, you understand, they could have stretched over her entire face, making her old. Now you can say that with the blink of an eye, the beauty changes. Now you can imagine how time is fleeting, how time is running fast. Now he can say that at the blink of an eye, he could see, because before that uh, uh, there are two wrinkles on her forehead, and she looks beautiful. And with twinkle of an eye, with the blink of an eye, these wrinkles are stretched over her face, and she becomes old. So I had to keep my distance, you see, so I could create her intact. That is the word in my heart. So he tries to say that he should make her beauty permanent in his imagination, in his eyes, so that her forehead, her demeanor, her beauty will remain permanent for her. So she looked beautiful, permanent always, and she should not change, and she should not have old look. But as we know that time is cruel, so wheels of time are turning, so we cannot hold back, we cannot hold our present, because present may go away. So we come to other themes. Yes, you can see from here. Yes, just 1 minute. Yes. There are, in this play, there are a lot of metaphors and surrealist elements in the play. As we know that this is, I told you earlier, this is impossible comedy. This is the things, the characters are there. The black cat is there, dead boy is there. No, it is not possible. The black cat comes in the form of girl and he speaks, and dead boy comes and then he speak and have the philosophy. There are a lot of metaphors because he the things are, the characters are something else. The characters are something else, and and the surrealistic elements in the plays, we know that something visionary, something imaginative, something fantastic, and the writer is trying to make audience believe that visionary, imaginative, fantastic, supernatural can be combined with, can be blended with reality with the help of metaphors, with the help of metaphors and symbols. It is possible. Another theme is that importance and life before death closes out. Now, importance of life. Yes, sorry. Importance of life. There is a great importance of life before death closes all. Now, as we know that we wait for things to happen, we wait about our future, we wait for the future, the things will be done, the things will be get done, but we don't pay any importance to present, but we should enjoy present, and we should not be only idealistic and imaginative of our future. So there is the importance of life, as we come to know that uh, basically the young man, he is regretting in the final course of the play, as we know that, because he didn't pin importance to his present. So he pinned a lot of importance to his future, and when future comes, there is nothing in the future. Future is hollow, empty from all sides. It is reality. Death is reality. Destruction is reality, and all will be destroyed. Yes, this is fact. This is reality. So the writer, the playwright, is trying to say that we must enjoy each moment of life, and we must have all the hues and all the colors. Whatever we do, whatever we can do, we must do it. We should not put everything uh, and we should not postpone everything for our future. You can say that. So one must not wait, but live. This is the message. This is the very theme of this play. So we should not wait for things to happen to us. We should not wait, because again, you see that we put everything, we postpone everything till tomorrow. That the future will come, and we are saying that the future will be bright, future will be bright. Yes, we are young and we are concerned about our future. And when you ask young people, so they say that future will be bright, future will be bright, and they don't enjoy their present moment. They don't enjoy their life. Even you ask the people who are 50 years or 60 years old, now they say that, okay, if you in future, the things will be good, the things will be bright. Yes, we must be hopeful, but why we are neglecting our present? And another thing the writer is trying to promote is that whatever we are leaving behind is also important. Whatever we have left, it is also important. As we know that in the first act, we come to know that secretary pin a lot of importance, and secretary displays each and everything, and she discloses that she is in love with young man, and young man is not giving importance to her, and he says that uh, he will wait for her fancy, and in future he will uh, and we don't know that whether he has seen his fancy or not. Fancy is in imagination or in reality. It may be possible that once he has seen his fancy, but we come to know that there is no fancy as such in reality, or maybe in reality, but he is talking about her, and he is imaginative, because when there is conversation between young men and old men, the young man basically, he says that he loves the breads here, the breads of his fancy. The old man tries to remember him that his fancy has no bread. So the young man says that, okay, no problem, his fancy has no bread, and in future she will grow long hair, and she will have good breads. So it means that he is not talking, he is not pinning importance to his present, and the marriage is delayed, and he wait for future. So this is the important theme. One must not wait, but live. You start living your life. You may have simple joys of life, but you start living, and you feel that you are there with your life. Okay, you must be hopeful, you must be optimistic about future, but don't put everything on stake, and don't be crazy about your future, that future will bring everything and future will solve your every problem. It is not possible. The present is basically reality. The future is in imagination. You are idealistic about your future, you are imaginative about our future. The future may or may not bring happiness to you, joy to you, but you live your life, and you must pin importance to your present. And whatever you are leaving, you are leaving, suppose you are leaving nothing but memories with the people. These memories, reminiscence, and these recollections have also importance, and they are precious, because you sometimes the window of life opens and you peep into the past. The past is also important, but these three legends of time, past, present, and future, have their own importance. So we should not pin importance to future only,